Hey guys, all right, I wanted to film this video because I want to explain to you guys in a really clear and concise way how you can scale your ecom brand to 6 figures or 7 figures a month. Because the thing is, once you understand this simple formula and this process, it's a lot easier than what you may have thought, okay? So I'm going to do my best to explain it. I'm going to try not to take too long, and I'm going to try and be short and sharp. So maybe take some notes as we go through. But this is our exact formula that we've used for the last 6 to 7 years to consistently scale brands to the moon each month. Okay, so this is my no bullshit approach to scaling to 7 figures. Let's get into it. So step one is this. Now this might sound silly, but it's a very important point. The first thing is does the product have product market fit? So what do I mean by that? Do people actually want to use this product? Is there demand for it? And how big is the market size of it? Okay. So you'll often hear people say, oh, don't launch a brand where there's a lot of competition. It's going to be too difficult. Whereas I completely disagree. Every business that I've launched or every product that I've sold has been in a niche where there is a lot of product market fit because there is a lot of demand, which then means that there's a lot of competition, which is good. And that means that there is people searching for the product. Okay. So make sure that there is product market fit. Try not to find a product or spend a lot of time finding a product that doesn't really exist in the market and there's no competition. Because if you do that, it means that your basket size of people is very small. And not only that, you're going to have to spend a lot of money to create a trend and also educate people as to what this product is and what it does. So it's easier just to pick a product where there is demand and there is product market fit. So that's step one. Fairly simple. Step two, you need to have an edge, okay? Now, your edge can be in the form of a product or a brand edge, and I'll explain the two very briefly. So assuming you are launching a brand into a competitive space, you know that there's product market fit, you've got to have a product edge, right? Or a brand edge. That means that you have to be able to differentiate yourself from the competition. You have to give people a reason to choose your brand or product over anyone else's. Better turn my phone off and silent because it keeps going off. So how can we do this? Okay, so let's start with brand. Now, the way in which you can create a brand edge is visually the way that the brand is designed, the way that you communicate with your customers or who you're targeting, okay? So let's say, for example, you're launching a skincare product, okay? Very competitive space, thousands of brands out there. Now, your edge might be this particular skincare brand is going to be catered towards women aged 50 to 60, okay? So the more mature demographic, that's your edge, okay? Instead of a brand that's just marketing to anybody really that wants to get rid of acne. So the second way is you can have a product edge, okay? Now this could be in the form of the size of the product, the ingredients that are in the product. It might be safe for sensitive skin, etc. Okay, you get what I mean? It might be the color as an example. So when we launched Alaya Skin, we made our mask pink. It added an element of virality. It went viral because of the color. We doubled the size compared to our competitors and we had our edge, okay? So make sure you have an edge. If you don't have an edge, you're going to be constantly competing. It's going to be really hard to hit profitability and it's going to be hard to scale, okay? So that's step two. Have a product or a brand edge, preferably both. Step three. Now this is very crucial, okay? And you might read the title of this, which is know who your customer is and go, well, that's easy. I know who my customer is. But do you really, okay? So again, keeping on with the skincare trend, think about it like this, okay? If your demographic is anyone that has skin that has acne, it's not deep enough, okay? The reason why you need to know who you're marketing to and who your customer is because everything that you do as a company, as a brand, will formulate around that, okay? So the way you speak to the consumer, the way you formulate your ads, the models you use on your website, the product that you choose, the pricing of the product, everything will come down to it. So you need to be really specific, okay? And then once you know exactly who it is, and again, as an example, it could be a 30 to 35-year-old woman. She's sort of upper class. She's got a high paying job. She likes to use skincare products that use high levels of ingredients like ingredients that are really good for your skins, which means that she's happy to pay more for the product, okay? So she's not necessarily a cost-conscious shopper. She's someone that really wants to look after herself and she's willing to pay for it, okay? So that's a good example. Once you've done that, you then need to work on what is their persona, what is their desire, and then what problem does your product fix? If you're launching a brand in e-com, it's an absolute no-brainer. You have to pick a product that solves a problem, okay? So I'll quickly walk you through exactly how we do this, right? Because creative strategy is everything when it comes to scaling. And most of you guys can't scale because you don't have this down pat. So this is how you do it. And again, I don't want to spend a ton of time on this, but I'm just going to take you through really quickly how I go about it. So the first thing is who is your avatar? Now, this is not a skincare example. It's another example, but just follow me through this, okay? Step 1, avatar. So Stephanie, she's a 35-year-old woman. Her life's getting busier and busier. She's just had her first child and is newly married. She's trying to juggle work life, mother life, relationship life. This means she has way less time to look after herself physically, okay? So that is the type of consumer we're targeting. So very detailed there. Now, the desire. What does this person want, this potential customer? She wants to look good and feel good. And in fact, she constantly looks at herself in the mirror and she might wish that she was her old self, okay? When she had more time to look after herself, she was a lot healthier, she was going to the gym more, but due to her current circumstance, she's not able to. The outcome. What is it that she's looking for as a result of the desire? So I've just used a drink as an example here, okay? So a low-calorie drink that contains energizing ingredients such as caffeine to give her that boost, branded in a way that appeals to women more specifically, and also marketed in a way that comes off as health conscious. Okay, so this drink would have low sugar, it would have ingredients that benefit your health, that aren't bad for you, as well as giving you that energy boost, okay? So just a quick example of how you can go about your creative strategy, right? So starting off with the avatar, going into the desire of that person, and then the outcome that they're looking for. So if you have a business right now or you're starting one, fill out an exercise and do something like this, okay? Come up with different avatars. Now, keep in mind that with the business that you have, let's say you have a fashion line and it's for 18 to 30-year-old women, okay? You have a main demographic, which is 18 to 30-year-olds, but then within that, you have smaller demographics that you can then put underneath these avatars. So one of them might be 18 to 25. Now, this person is a cost-conscious shopper because they're younger, and they'll have a different desire and a different outcome to that of someone aged 25 to 30, okay? So do this. Once you've got your product done and your brand done, or if you've got a business right now, do an exercise like this and get really specific with who you're targeting in your copy. Step 4, know how to market, okay? Know how to market your brand and your product. Now, all marketing is being able to connect with your audience on an emotional level and being able to clearly and concisely show them how your product is going to provide value to them to bring about this outcome based on the desire, okay? So see how it all flows in with each other? If you haven't done the work that I just showed you before on the avatar, desire, and outcome, you're not going to know how to market the product, which means that most likely your ads aren't going to convert, and this is why you're struggling to scale, okay? So before you get overexcited and just pump out ads and launch ads and you just want to scale, fill this out, and then this will all make sense, and you'll know how to market, you'll know how to talk to the consumer. Step 5. A really, really important one. Do not cheapen out on your product quality and your branding, okay? So I meet a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of e-com founders, and they literally spend $1,000 on their branding, okay? Now, guys, remember, when you're building a brand, every single touch point of the brand matters. The packaging, when your product gets delivered, what it's shipped in, and not to mention the product quality, okay? So if you want to build a sustainable business, then it's imperative that you really focus on brand quality and spend a bit of money on your branding and your website and your photo shoots and the models you're using. Invest in it, guys. Think about it like this. It's like you've got a restaurant, right? There's 2 restaurants next to each other. One has cobwebs all over it. It's a bit outdated. It's a bit dusty. The staff are a bit rude, your customer service. Then you have a new restaurant. It's got some LED lighting in it. It's got signage on the wall. Customers are friendly. Everyone's having a good time in there. Which restaurant are you going to go into? Okay. So your website and your brand is your storefront. Don't cheapen out on it. Number 6, test. Okay. Creative output is everything. Okay. So instead, what I see a lot of people doing at the moment is they're so caught up on campaign structure instead of worrying about testing different creatives. Okay. So the more effort that you put in, the better. And this last one here, don't just throw glue at a wall and hope it sticks. Now, if you didn't do what I showed you in step 3, which is knowing your customer avatar, doing the avatar desire outcome, you most likely are just throwing glue at a wall and hoping it sticks. Now, if you just think logically for a second, if there's 2 guys, you're competing with 2 guys, Adam and Brett, all right? Adam is filling out the desires, he knows the outcomes, he knows his consumer, and then Brett's got no fucking idea. He's just creating ads and throwing them up into the ad account, hoping to God that they stick, speaks very broadly, not really sure exactly who he's targeting. Who do you think is going to scale faster and harder? Okay, so a lot of the success comes from the 20% of effort that you put in. Okay, and that 20% of effort is really the research and how you go about doing that and how well you know that consumer. Okay, now the final one is step 7. And this is using other channels to drive traffic to your store, not just Meta, okay? So Meta is a fantastic tool at driving success and growing a brand, okay? It's fantastic, don't get me wrong. The thing is though, is that you don't want to just be held for ransom to Meta. If you put all your eggs in one basket, your business success and growth is literally tied to Meta. Now, when Meta does updates, they change things in the algorithm. You've probably experienced this, your ad results go to shit, okay? So your goal should be to diversify, okay? Run an organic social media strategy, run on TikTok, run on Snapchat. Put your brand on platforms where it makes sense. Like think about it, where is my consumer's attention? Because it's not just on Instagram and Meta, okay? So diversify your spend, okay? So guys, if you love this type of content, please drop me a comment below, please subscribe, ask any questions in the comments and I'll answer them for you. But I hope you found this helpful. I wanted to keep it a short and condensed video, but this is really all you guys need to do to scale, okay? So implement this in your business